Hello wonderful people, I'm Joshua. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be on 5 easy and simple processes and practices that you can use to save some serious cash. Just a few things to go over before we get into the video. One, this is going to be a little bit of a longer one. I did some research to show how it's going to be more beneficial to you, and I went more in depth on each subject rather than keeping it just on the broad topic. Although each of the subjects are pretty self-explanatory and easy to understand. So I will be referencing my notes quite a bit. And also the results will vary depending on your effort and how much you actually implement each of these. I picked them because they're no to little change in your quality of life currently. And they're in order of lowest to highest in the amount that you'll save, but that also depends per person or per household. And all of these that I'm going to talk about today, I actually use and implement myself. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. And starting from number 5, which is paying for subscription and services that you actually use. So the average streaming service is $10 a month, which equates to $120 a year, and that's per streaming service. So I would try to go through use 1 or 2 streaming services that you use at one time, and then cut out any that you're not using and go ahead and just cancel those. Also, that includes memberships for gyms, because the average membership for a gym is going to cost you $37.71 a month, and that equates to $452.52 a year. So with this one, you got to get extremely real and honest with yourself, because I highly encourage someone to go to the gym and get fit and healthy, but it's just, do you actually use it often enough to keep it and justify it? If so, fantastic. If not, then I will go ahead and say just cut it out and save that money. Number 4 is going to be alternatives to date night or party nights. So as far as date nights go, parks, museums, hiking trails, and picnics, a great alternative to like cost effective, be more cost effective. Most of them are free, and it's just better and easier than going out and spending a ton of money. And I also suggest cooking meals together with this one, but there'll be more on that one later on in the video. As far as your parties go, I would say switch out which of your friends ends up hosting parties at their house, and you can do like cards, board games, darts, and other activities there. Also, pre-gaming before you go out to the bars or clubs could save you quite a substantial amount of money, because the average cost of per shot on this is going to be $4 to $15. It's a wide variety, but it also depends on where you go and what alcohol you choose. But you could typically buy a bottle of whatever you're drinking for about the same price as about 4 shots that you're going to end up having. But if you do go out, always have either a designated driver or some safe plan back home. Number 3 is going to be alternatives and brand names. That includes foods and clothes. Like your food, your store brand is usually more cost effective, and it's pretty generic as far as the product goes. But you might have to do some sort of like experimenting with it depending on what you end up doing and going with, because there are some differences as far as their taste goes, but most of those I can't tell a difference personally. The clothes, that's going to be a big expense there as far as going with the name brand, because the name brand is going to cost you about $70 an article, but the generic store one or discount store one, it's going to cost you about $20 an article. But if you really want to be frugal and save some money, you can do thrift store shopping. And I haven't seen anything personally over $5 for an article of clothes. Number two is going to end up being cut back on eating out, which also includes coffees. So the average cost of dining out per couple per each time is $45. So if you cut this out once a week, you'll end up saving $180 a month or $2,160 a year. And also, this is great building and bond time with your person, whether that be a family member or relationship. It's also not including the health benefits that go with it, because you'll know what's going into the food and that it's prepared properly. And as far as the coffee goes, your average coffee is $4.60 for a regular size from your chain, which is almost as much as an entire bag from their coffee. But if you make that at home, it's about 15 cents for each cup. So if you cut that once a week, just cut it out one time a week, it's going to save you $18.40 a month or $220.80 a year. And down to the number one way to save money, a good chunk is this is going to be your thermostat temperature. So you can save up to 10% annually per 8 hours if you adjust it by just 7 degrees. So this one doesn't have to be an all or nothing. You don't have to go through and adjust it by 7 degrees like starting right now to actually see some results. You can go through and just start by adjusting it 2 or 3 degrees here and there, and you'll actually see some noticeable results there. But with this one though, make sure that you are not dropping your temperature below 65 if it is going to be freezing outside, because you don't want your pipes to burst, because that'll end up costing you a lot more later. And with this one, it's also, I would suggest turning off your heat or your AC when no one's going to be home for several hours at a time. It'll save you a good chunk of money there. But that concludes today's video. If there's any practices that you use or any tips that you have to save some money, drop a comment, let me know please. And I hope this video elevates your life. Please like and subscribe if you've learned anything new. And thank you for your time. Hope to see you in the next video. Until then, hope you have a wonderful time on purpose.